Before we begin, if this resonates, please like, subscribe, and share. Portals is here to explore where the future is emerging and how we can co-create what is arising in humanity. Join us. Together we can explore the big questions of our time. Welcome to Portals of Perception and to IHOW episode number 10. IHOW stands for Internal Human Orchestra Work. And whenever we talk about internal human orchestra work, we are integrating the idea that the human is made of many parts and that our core premise and endeavor in the IHOW explorations are to facilitate greater ease in terms of integration of the many parts and the many lives and the inner voices into a greater whole. In IHOW 8, we began to explore the subtle sense organs, and in IHOW 9, we developed an approach to the nested self and to the adaptive self. And so today we want to build on this with Rita guiding the way for us into the journey to acknowledge and recognize the nested self and the adaptive self. And then we will add one more dimension, which we will call the tethered and the tethering self. So, Rita, please, any introduction, additional introduction from you, or are we ready to lead into the practice? Please take it away.
I think we're ready to step in. So before we start, hello everyone watching this, and I would like to invite you to either stand up where you feel like you have good space around you. If you prefer to stay seated, absolutely fine, as long as you feel at ease where you are. I'm sure it's possible to do this lying down, so the possibilities are multiple. I'm going to stand up just for the sake of feeling a little bit more of the space surrounding myself. So when you found a place where you feel at ease, whether it be standing, seated, lying down, take a couple of deep breaths and just feel the expansion and the soft descent of the chest and the rib cage. And you might also feel there's a very, very soft expansion and contraction of your skin as you breathe. And just consider the entire skin that surrounds your physical body. And then think how, say you take a tomato or an apple, they each have a skin containing what's inside. And there are layers within layers. Say in an apple, there's the skin, there's the flesh, and there's the heart of it, the core, where the seeds ripen. So we humans also have layers upon layers. We're not just one lump. And you could find many, many examples if you start looking into both the physical and the energetic self. So having just seeded that thought into yourself, consider the space around you, your energy field. Now that also has like a skin at the edge so that your energy doesn't just whoosh, fly off and leave you unanchored. You may be able to feel it, or someone else might be able to feel it coming from outside, Now, it may be far bigger than arm's length, but sensing it with your hands may be just a good way to bring different parts of you on board, to remind yourself that you're not just what's inside the skin, but there is another skin or other skins of a more subtle nature, more energetic nature, whether they are at an arm's length or they might extend way beyond the room where you are. You may feel it with your hands. You may just feel it with your imagery senses. And now imagine the energetic skin surrounding you, and imagine an inner layer that is like a very luminous, vibrant, light blue. If you think of the blue of the sky, here I can see blue sky ahead that way, but it's a very light blue. So think of a light, luminous blue surrounding the energy of yourself. And think, in that blue layer live all manner of qualities that are of a fine and constant and reliable nature. Just like there's complete reliability in the breath coming and going, in the heart beating. So it might be in your trustworthy, reliable nature to have care, or to have inspiration, or to have willingness, creativity. You might want to call to yourself now, or as you go on about your life, various qualities that live in this luminous blue layer of your aura or your energy field. Now, right outside the blue layer, there's another layer. Like the skin has various layers. Imagine now an incandescent violet layer, pure, clean, luminous, surrounding the blue layer. And think that in this violet layer live more universal qualities that come from beyond the planet, but are anchored in us as humans, in our planetary life. Permanent, universal qualities like high healing, perception, astuteness of mind, and much, much more. High sensitivity. Now, outside of the violet layer, imagine a third one that is luminous like white light, but tinged with silver and gold. Very incandescent white light with silver and gold shimmering through it. And this layer has universal connections still higher, all the way to the source of all life. Because if you think of it, you wouldn't be standing there if there wasn't a source of all life that not only gave you life, but also allows it to go on. So just for a moment, in your own way, you might want to accompany it with movement, Or you may just wish to picture these layers and sense into these different densities and different potencies of these layers. And now you can always explore it more in your own time. But now from this greater you, imagine an image of you inside, deep inside your body, in a space behind the solar plexus. Now, physically, that area is filled with organs and life going on at the physical level. But imagine another layer that's like an energetic chamber or a space, contained and secure. And imagine a small image of you. It might look like you physically, it might look just like the essence of you. It will most likely turn up differently in different people. So imagine this space deep within, at the core of you, with a little you inside, and like another aura or energy field around this little you, safely ensconced. And it's always there, whether you think of it or not. This is just a way to recognize the fact of it. And again, the reliability that it is there, whether you think of it or not. It may have colors in the energy field surrounding it. You may wish to explore it in your own time. But now to consider that we don't live all our lives, or very rare people do. We don't live all our lives on a mountaintop in a rarefied atmosphere, not needing to deal with paying the bills and looking after the family and dealing with life and friends and officials and admin. So we need to bring our attention to the fact that we are utterly adaptable. And here we call this another you, the adaptable self. So if you have a nested self inside you in its secure nest, now imagine maybe 2/3 of the way out, still within your energy field, within your aura, but outside your physical being, an adaptable you that's infinitely versatile and is able to pick up the exact frequency and quality of the needs that it meets. And it probably, being adaptable, it might not just live in one place in your aura. It may travel all around, just like you will travel all around dealing with life as it appears. And this adaptable you is capable of tuning in to whatever the need of the day, of the next moment, or the next hour, or the next person you meet, or the next animal you're looking after, your next pursuit. So it's out there, and you can trust that if you give it free rein, it will be able to pick up what's needed and respond to it. So just spend a few moments. Again, you can do it with movement. You can do it with your eyes closed, eyes open, however it turns up best for you. Picture this adaptable self in its full range of versatility and its willingness and ability to learn and extend its range as you live your life. And just give it recognition and the trust that you know it's there and it's willing to help. And here, after a moment, I would like to hand it over to Aviv for yet another further exploration into the many selves.
Thank you very much, Rita. So indeed, if you joined us here for the first time and you're wondering why we're moving the hands the way we move our hands, well, we are sensing and feeling to the energetics in the energy field. And this is something natural to feel and discover. And you too, even if you're doing this for the first time, you can develop the sensitivity of your two palms to the energetic nature in your energy field. So very much in the way Rita just guided us, we are now seeing ourselves inside an energy field with three layers at the edge of the energy field: a luminescent blue, a bright incandescent luminescent violet, and a see-through white, almost transparent plasma-like silver and gold hues inside it, third layer. And as Rita guided us, we're seeing the nested self right in this space we created inside, behind the solar plexus. And the nested self is there to offer us confidence. We always come back home. It's like home base. It's our energetic home base. And from the nested self, there is a very thin, transparent filament, see-through filament, silver thread that connects to the adaptive self. And the adaptive self is the energetic configuration that has a chameleon capacity to adapt to any circumstance. So we're now seeing all these dimensions of ourselves, and now we're going to add one more dimension, which we're going to call the tethered and tethering self. So somewhat like you see the very thin, transparent filament that connects, a thread that connects the nested self to the adaptive self. Imagine that from that nested self deep inside, behind the solar plexus, there is a thread that goes from the back all the way up. And it climbs and it climbs and it climbs and it goes up. Where? Deep in the universe, deep inside the galactic hall, where the higher you, the higher part of you, forever awaits you. And it too is connected and tethered to the nested self. They are connected with each other. So that's why we call it the tethered and the tethering self, because the nested self connects all the way up to the tethered self, and the tethered self connects and communicates back to the tethered self. But just now, I'm going to go quiet for a moment and let you have this imagery of those three dimensions of the self. The tethered self up above, deep in the universe, holding for you your universal promise, part of you that is immortal, the part of you that never ends, even when you finish and complete this tour of duty in this physical body. That's the tethered self. The nested self that lives inside your body behind the solar plexus, and the adaptive self. So take a moment to appreciate those three dimensions of the self. You may let yourself experience the sentiment and the appreciation that's naturally arising for you. Perhaps it is a sense of gratitude that you have these three dimensions, the one that can adapt to situations in the world, the one inside you that forever comes back home and has an agentic power. It directs you into whatever it is that you choose to do next. And the one that's forever caring and connecting you to the even greater purpose that you express in this life. One that carries a universal memory beyond this lifetime. You may feel a sense of gratitude, unique kind of gratitude to each of those three lives. And with the gratitude, what comes up for me is a sense of reverence. I'm not smart enough to have designed life this way. I am the beneficiary of a universal and a creational design. We all are. So I marvel at the majesty and the beauty of that. And I feel uplifted and cared for. So I'll hand it now back to Rita to see if there is anything you will offer us as we conclude and bring this home. Please, Rita.
It feels most right to just offer a space where you can stay with these multiple aspects of yourselves, to not add anything on top of it, but do give yourself a little bit of time to stay with it before it's time with your adaptive self and all the other connected selves to go into what is next in your life. So thank you very much for joining us. I hope you will find this useful, rich, exciting, connective, balancing. Happy discovery.
Along with our website at portalsofperception.org, Portals is also available on YouTube and on all podcast platforms, as well as social media. You can become an active member and join the conversation in community events. And you can help us get the word out by liking this content and by sharing it with your friends.